This week, we've got Arsenal-Chelsea, Man City vs Brighton, a London derby in Fulham at home against Tottenham, and in Spain, we have third versus first. It's Atletico Madrid vs Barcelona. At the very end of this video, I'll be giving you my top 3 safest predictions. Welcome back to PANENKA Predictions. We've got loads of great games to cover this weekend. I hope you all enjoyed the midweek Champions League games as much as I did. That goal by Lamine Yamal against Benfica. What a beautiful goal that was. Let's dive straight into it, and we kick off this weekend's predictions in the EPL with Manchester City hosting the in-form Brighton. Man City sit just 2 points above Brighton in the table coming into this game, and there's a very good chance that by the end of this game, those places might have changed. Man City are still struggling to find the right combination or maybe even the right attitude to string together any consistent decent results. They lost to Nottingham in the last round. They lost at home against Liverpool before that. They did beat Tottenham recently though, but really that's not too hard to do nowadays, is it? Brighton on the other hand, they're in great form. They've won their last 6 games in all competitions, and they definitely look good enough to score against this current Man City side. Man City should also be able to find the back of the net as well, and I expect this to be a fairly open game with both teams playing an attacking style of football, and I'm pretty sure that either of these two teams can go on to score either a second or a third goal in this game. So my prediction for the game between Man City and Brighton is going to be for over 2.5 goals. And would it really be the biggest surprise to see Brighton win this game and move above Man City in the table? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And just quickly, before we move on to our next game, please take a quick second to hit that like and subscribe button for me. Like Barcelona this season, I too have many goals on all fronts, and one of them is to hit that 1,000 subscribers milestone as soon as possible. I don't want to go into extra time, I don't want penalties, so if you can, and if you enjoy this content, please subscribe to this channel. It would mean a whole lot to me. And 3 points would mean a whole lot to Ipswich right now as well, as they are 6 points deep in the relegation zone, but it won't be easy for them this weekend as they're hosting a very high-flying Nottingham Forest. These two sides played out a 1-1 draw in the 5th round of the FA Cup a few weeks ago, and a similar result this weekend would not surprise me. Ipswich are currently 6 points behind Wolves in the table, and if they hope to stand any chance of survival, then they'll need to be making the most of their home advantage and at least trying to turn those losses into draws, and heaven forbid, maybe even a win. Ipswich have not won a single EPL game this year. Forest, they've had no such problems. They beat Man City last weekend, but recently on their travels, they've not been playing their best. They lost away to Newcastle, they lost to Fulham, and they got belted by Bournemouth in their last 3 away games. They currently sit 3rd in the table, but only 2 points ahead of Chelsea. And although Nottingham, well, they're the much better of the two teams right now, I do think that Ipswich have at least half a chance here. For my prediction in this game though, between Ipswich and Nottingham Forest, I am going to predict that both teams will score. Next up, we have Bournemouth entertaining Brentford in a game which hopefully is entertaining for all of us. Both teams sit comfortably in mid-table, and their positions on the table is a really good reflection of how their inconsistent form has recently been. Both teams do know how to score goals, and they have lots of very good attacking options in their lineups. I think that both teams' attack is better than the other team's defense, so I'm going for goals in this game. My prediction for Bournemouth at home against Brentford is for over 2.5 goals. Next up, it's Arsenal versus Chelsea. Arsenal are still in 2nd place, 4 points ahead of Nottingham Forest in 3rd, and a whopping 15 points behind league leaders and sure to be champions, Liverpool. They've got a month nearly before their Champions League quarter-final against Madrid to worry about, and considering that they're playing against their London rivals Chelsea, I'm sure that they'll be fielding a strong team and really going for the win in this game. Chelsea will be no doubt as well, as they are only 2 points above Man City in the race for the top 4, and will want to secure Champions League football for next season. They've won their last 3 games in a row now, Chelsea, but it has to be said that those wins came against Leicester, where they just won, Southampton and FC Copenhagen in the Conference League. So I don't think we should get too excited about those wins just yet. I think Chelsea are going to struggle in this game. Arsenal, they seem to be a more gelled together team, and they can keep possession and really dictate the game for long periods, and I think we'll see the Gunners get the 3 points here. But I don't think it's going to be 1-0. I can see a few more goals being scored in this game, so I'm going to predict that Arsenal will score at least 2 goals in this game. It should be an exciting game. Who do you think will win this London derby match? I want to see your predictions down in the comments. Staying in London now, because it's just so pretty, we have Fulham hosting Tottenham. It's another London clash here, as Fulham, sitting comfortably at mid-table, host the consistently inconsistent Tottenham Hotspur. Fulham lost 2-1 to Brighton away in their last game, whereas Tottenham, they came from 2 goals down to rescue a draw at home against Bournemouth. Although both these teams have been fairly inconsistent over the course of the season. One thing that's been pretty consistent is their ability to score goals. Fulham, they've got Iwobi and Jimenez scoring loads of goals between them. Tottenham, they've got the likes of Song and Kulusevski and Maddison as well. I think that there'll be goals in this game. I'm not sure who's going to end up winning this game in the end, but for my prediction between Fulham and Tottenham, I'm going to predict that both teams will score. Now, the next game has got me saying something I very, very rarely say. Manchester United might win this one. It's second from the bottom, Leicester City hosting 14th place Manchester United. Now, hold the press. If Man U win this game, they may just make it into the top half of the table. Hang on. No, they won't. Even if they win this game, Man U will still be in the bottom half of the table. And why no love lost to Man U, you might ask? Well, all of you know that my number one team is Barcelona. That's the number one team that I support. However, in England, I do support another team. And based on the photos that I'm sharing with you right now, you should be able to recognize that not only do I support Leeds, but also some of the main reasons why I do as well. Back to Leicester now, and they're going to need a miracle if they're going to stay up this season. They've won only one game so far this year, and that was against Tottenham, so it's not really a surprise. Manchester United, they've drawn 4 out of their last 5 games and managed a 3-2 win against Ipswich in that run, so they come into this game in slightly better form. And one of the very few teams that Man U do seem to consistently beat is Leicester. Man U have beaten Leicester in their last 5 meetings, and I think that they might make this number 6. Leicester, when they lose at home, it tends to be by more than 1 goal. And just to keep it safer on these predictions, I do think Man U will win, but just to keep it safer, I'm going to predict Manchester United to score at least 2 goals away against Leicester. But I hope I'm wrong. Off to Spain now for some very exciting games in La Liga. And let's start off with what's going to be a really exciting and end-to-end game between 5th place Villarreal and 2nd place Real Madrid. Villarreal will be trying to close the gap on 4th place Bilbao by taking advantage of playing against a potentially tied Real Madrid. They didn't do themselves any favors last week when they lost against lowly Leganés, but that was their only loss in their last 7 games, so they will come into this game feeling confident. And Madrid, well, they're Madrid, so they'll come into this game confident as well. It should make for a very entertaining game. I can see both teams getting on the score sheet in this one, and probably Real Madrid scoring a 2nd or even a 3rd goal to come away with the win. But I hope I'm wrong. So just to play it safe and to give myself a chance to support any team playing against Real Madrid, I'm going to predict over 2.5 goals between Villarreal and Real Madrid. And I'm hoping for a 2-1 or either 3-1 scoreline for Villarreal. And then it's the big one. 3rd place Atletico Madrid at home against Barcelona. Only 1 point separates these two teams right now. That and consistency. In the league, Atletico have been dropping points and getting draws in games where they probably should have won them. And Barcelona right now, they just keep on winning. They've now won 6 in a row in La Liga, and the last time these two teams met, it was in the Copa del Rey and ended in an amazing 4-4 draw. The same result this weekend, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, would it? Atletico did beat Madrid in normal time in the Champions League in midweek, but were ultimately knocked out on penalties. They'll want to put that loss behind them as quickly as possible and try to jump to the top of the table in La Liga. Right now though, I really can't see Atletico Madrid winning this one. I mean, maybe if Barcelona play a really bad game and Atletico play a near perfect game, maybe I can then see another 2-1 win for Atletico Madrid like they did earlier on in the season, but I'm certainly not betting on that. Obviously, I hope that Barcelona get the win here, but that's not what I'm betting on either. What I'm going for, and I think is the safest prediction for this game, is that both teams will score. Barca, they may have slightly better and more options up front, but Atletico, they're playing at home and they have plenty of goal scoring threats as well. I'm hoping for a classic. I'm hoping it's a 4-2 win for Barcelona and a 2-1 win for Villarreal, and all's happy and well from my perspective in Spain. What are your thoughts on the games involving Real Madrid, Atletico and Barcelona? Por favor, dejen sus comentarios aquí abajo. Now, for my top 3 safest predictions for the upcoming games, let's start with my 3rd favorite prediction, and that is for both teams to score between Fulham and Tottenham. My top 2 predictions, they both come from Spain, and my 2nd favorite prediction is for over 2.5 goals between Villarreal and Real Madrid, and Villarreal to win. And for my top prediction this week, I'm going for both teams to score between Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. Do you agree with my top 3 predictions? Let me know your predictions down in the comments. That's it for this week, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and help me get to that 1,000 subscriber milestone if you don't mind. Enjoy the big games, get your predictions in, and have a great weekend, everyone, and see you all again next week for another weekend of PANENKA predictions.